Hi, this is Mark Green for Digital West Imaging, talking about the PROMON Scope GH4 unattended operation. Now, to do this, you're going to have an input of some kind to trigger the camera. We have a motion trigger, or I call it an optical trigger, and we've also got external triggers like this. This plugs into the PROMON scope. The opposite end plugs into a BNC connection, which can go to a T-tail input from your system or dry contact closure. You can use a plain switch like I have here to do those kind of triggers. We're going to talk about the motion trigger today. To set up a motion trigger, we need to do a couple things. First off, we need to decide how long our record time is going to be for each segment, each time the camera records. So this is a jumping monkey, and I know it's going to be very little time required, but we could go, as you can see here, up to 25 minutes. That's the unique thing about PROMON scope. But I think we'll just go for something real small, like about 3 seconds of record time. And then we're also going to set up a pre-trigger length. That means the camera is going to sit there recording before it gets a trigger for a certain period of time. I have 0 trigger position right now. I'm going to move it over and do like 3%. What that means is the camera is going to record in that tiny 3% section of the whole recording of 3 seconds and waiting for a trigger. So it's just going to sit there recording, so we don't miss anything prior to the trigger, see? That's how that works. Additionally, we need to set up the optical trigger. Now, I'm going to create some boxes. Let's do one box. You could create as many little optical triggers on the screen as you want. I've already created one, and I'm going to turn it on so you can see it right there. You can resize it any size that you want. You can reposition it anywhere you want. Let's see, like we can make it a little bit bigger. And that's basically all there is to that. We can choose the sensitivity, how much change has to happen in that box for the camera to trigger. And what I've done is I put the monkey in a position right here so that it will trigger. Maybe a little bit more so you can see that box change color. There you go. And that way we'll have just one trigger, make it easier to understand how this whole thing works. If you have multiple triggers, you want to know which one triggered it, right? So additionally to that, we also have this rearm after trigger, which you turn on, and once you do, you give the camera, you start the camera and walk away. The camera will sit there in that pre-recorded area I was talking about, waiting for a failure, and that's what we're going to demonstrate right now. So there's our monkey, and our recording has just started. As you can see, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it says recording and it has no frame numbers counting. It's recording into that little area right there. Waiting. So we're going to let the monkey fly through there. And it plays back immediately, unless we have this rearm after trigger running. The playback speed is 20 frames a second. That's all we're doing at the moment. But I wanted to give you an idea how this looks. What a recording looks like. And we didn't have the monkey jumping either. So let's see what happens when you rearm after trigger this way. And we'll delete this recording. And we'll start the process. I hit the record button and I walk away. Since I'm walked away, I don't know what's going on in that system, but the camera is monitoring. So as the camera monitors, it finds a trigger point. And now it's saved that image. It's sitting there on the camera. We're going to do it again. And for variation, we're going to wind up the monkey. And do it again. All right, so let's stop the recording and let's take a look at what we have, okay? We'll go to the folder. Here's our recording sequence. The last, well, how do you know which one you're looking at? Let's get rid of one of these things so we don't have to look at that anymore. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to do that. Yes, get rid of that. And I want to also get rid of these. So I'm only looking at the recordings and my live screen. If I want to look at one of these, I just select it. And that's what my recording looks like. If I want to look at a different one, what I want you to notice is this. Buffer is 016. So that's the 16th camera image I chose. There's others stored in here. Let's choose a different one. This is number 15, where the mouse wasn't jumping. These are the last two that I did. So I can jump between these. Go to the beginning. And that is basically how you set up the camera for unattended operation. The camera just sits there waiting for failures. Once the trigger is received, either optically or TTL or dry contact closure from an external source, the camera will capture it. And that is the PROMON G4 unattended operation. I hope you enjoyed it.